Today I'm with Vinny, a good friend of mine, a hairdresser, a makeup artist. He's worked in the industry for years. I'm pleased to have him in the car to talk about the world of drag. Drag has been around for centuries, all the way back to Shakespearean times and probably beforehand. But there's still a fear, a stigma of the people who perform it. Vinny is an amazing human being, and I'm pleased to talk to him about the world of drag, both here in Long Beach and in Palm Springs, where he's in residency. The best part about today's interview is I not only get to interview Vinny, but I get to interview his alter ego, Envi, who's fabulous. So I can't wait for you to meet her. Come join us for the exciting, eye-opening interview with one of my favorite drag queens, Envi. So, where is Vincent Paul? Where's Vinny from?
Where is Vinny from? Actually, I'm born and raised in Hacienda Heights.
Hacienda Heights.
Hacienda Heights,
So
yeah.
Los Angeles, pretty much your whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, kind of bounced around from there to East LA, but I mean, I grew up in Hacienda Heights. I say East LA because that's where my family's at.
Yeah.
So went to elementary school and started in Whittier, went over the hill, and finished everything in Hacienda Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where Uncle lived, right? Still up over there?
He still lives in East LA, where the house where him and my aunts and my mom all grew up still lives in the same house right there off of Lorena on 5th.
So the original, wow, he never left.
Never left. Yeah, my grandmother sold him, or he ended up buying the house from my grandmother, years back, and that's where he raised my cousins and got married and all that stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's
still live in the same
awesome.
house.
So what brought you to Long Beach?
Gosh, what brought me to Long Beach? Long Beach was one of my first 21 and over queer experiences. It was one of the first cities I came to that just felt extremely diverse.
Yeah.
It was one of the first cities that came to that I felt I could be out without being out.
Yeah.
So I came out when I was 19, but like coming out with the friends and finding places to go dance and be yourself and go to your first gay pride festival was all in Long Beach.
So before that, when you were like Hacienda Heights, you were not out?
No, I mean, I didn't come out until I was 19, and I was already kind of moving away from Hacienda Heights. You had your small group of people, your handful that
knew
you semi came out to, that were very, very supportive and just, hey, do your thing, whatever.
So you were not truly who you are or on your journey until 19?
Yeah, I think that's kind of where it all started.
Aww.
It's like 19 was the year that I said, look, it's either this or that.
Yeah.
And I'll figure out what happens along the way,
Yeah. And on that journey, you found hair and makeup.
Yes, most of it, yeah. And I was, we'll back up a little bit. When I was 15 years old, I was, got invited to this place in LA called Arenas. And it was one of the places that I went to in high school. Totally snuck out of the house and went to this place. And when I got there, it was everything from punk, queer, homeboy, rocker, everything you could possibly, club kid, anything you could possibly think of was in this place every Friday night.
Yeah.
And it was, when I walked in there, it was one of the first places that I felt like, oh wow, there is a place and a space for you to be whatever, whoever you want to be, and have all this other different diversity around you support you, right?
And seeing them in themselves. We had a place like that. It was called Tortilla Flats.
Tortilla Flats.
Yeah, right? Yeah, and it was just a place where you went and anyone and everyone was there.
Yeah.
I almost thought like 80s music was the universal music because they'd have 80s night, right? And you'd see everyone.
Oh, for sure.
Every walk of life was in Tortilla Flats, experiencing that stuff, which is pretty awesome. So that's when you were kind of introduced to the queer community, to a bunch of different communities.
Yes, it was the melting pot of communities all coming together in such a beautiful, crazy art form.
Yeah.
The first time I saw a drag show, the first time I saw queer backup dancers, and that moment where you went, oh my gosh, I'm attracted to this drag queen makeup. I'm attracted to the hair. I'm attracted to the man dancing in his Levi's and topless. And like there were so many just explosions of attractions that were all happening in one particular place. And I thought, oh, you can do this. You can be this. You can.
Now, do you think that's something like that's like specifically LA? Because there's the melting pot of culture in LA is so incredible.
Right.
The fact that you can see, let's say, people that look like gangbangers in the same room with people that look like queens.
Correct.
Because they're the alternate society at that time.
Right.
They found each other. And isn't that amazing that, like, I think that might be something that is maybe not only LA, but predominantly LA.
Well, being that I grew up in LA County, that was the one place that I knew it existed. And when I would share this with other people that have come up out here to the West Coast from the East Coast, the only other place that I've heard that was compared to it was New York.
Yeah.
Because they had that underground scene.
Yeah.
And they still do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they still have that underground scene where you see the feminine meets the masculine, meets anything you can think of, all in some, you know, fabulous art form.
So was that your first exposure to drag?
Oh, yeah.
And was that your first kind of like, oh, look at that hair, look at that makeup? Was it your first idea of something you could do?
Yes, it truly was. I mean, you know, if you ask my sister, you know, when I was 12, I was sneakering into my mom's bathroom and doing her hair and makeup, and she was 6 years old, and she's like, why do we have to do this? Because I want to make you pretty.
And you wanted to do it then? Yeah.
And I wanted to do it then, but that was, but you're running away from, you know, your brothers and your cousins are like, that's girl shit, put that away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, or getting scolded for playing with mom's makeup bag, right? So,
yeah.
But when I started to explore things as a teenager, when I went to this place called Arenas in West Hollywood, that was the first time that I saw, again, so much diversity. And I thought, oh, this can be a thing. It possibly can be a thing.
And it brought that back out in you, like the moments of you doing your sister's
100%,
makeup.
100%.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
So were you always like proud in who you were, or were you kind of stilted until that, you know, like you said, your cousins yelling at you about girl stuff? Were you kind of stilted in yourself before that point?
I don't think I really truly became proud of who I was until I created boundaries for myself in my 40s, to be honest. And that's where it really was like, this is who I am, love it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think all the different, but, you know, going back to me as a child or in that time when I was going to Arenas, I think that's where I got a voice.
Yeah.
And the voice was kind of my confidence, just being the little guy with the big voice, right? But, and when you weren't in that atmosphere, I don't think I was as confident.
You had to regress to who
Correct.
you were.
But when you would get together with the friends that were just like, come on, let's be, you know, we're here, we're queer, get used to it kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And you're surrounded by them, and they were the ones that were supporting you in doing whatever you were doing, no matter how you were doing it. That's when I think that's where the confidence started.
Which it was really such a different time.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like there was so much fear.
Oh, yeah.
And there was so much fear around the community. There was so much fear around stigmas. There was so much fear. I mean, even at the time with, you know, people weren't out. And I have friends who have never truly been open to themselves because of that fear.
Oh, for sure.
And it's kind of sad because they've let a whole portion of their life go by.
Right.
Without experiencing being truly themselves.
Yep.
And it's hard to do in any situation, let alone being someone that comes from an upbringing where it wasn't necessarily approved of, or
right.
And so the ability of growth is quite difficult, but the ability to still grow is incredible. So now, as a person, thinking about you being the 15-year-old kid going to this club, how do you support the kids coming in?
Oh, yeah.
To the queer community?
Oh, for sure. You know, one of the things, you know, that I really put a lot of time and effort into as a hair and makeup artist and a drag entertainer is just really trying to put time and energy into bring people to life in their own special and unique way. And because I struggle with that, either with myself or with people around me, or different experiences, you know, because like you mentioned, it was a rough time.
Yeah.
You know, just creating that space for people, because I think sometimes they don't feel like they have that space.
It's true.
You know, either sitting in the chair, getting dolled up for a special occasion, or now, you know, I've been, you know, commissioned to do a lot more drag, makeup, facilitate drag makeup classes, you know, for people that are coming out or transitioning or being able to have that support that we didn't, you know?
True, because now there's a demand for it,
100%,
right?
yeah.
Because we're more open in it.
Correct.
Which is pretty incredible. And I think that helps everyone mentally, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they feel like they can truly be themselves without worrying about it.
Yep.
It has gotten worse in recent years.
Yeah.
Just with everything going on. But I don't think it's, I don't think it's anything like what it used to be.
No.
Has there been a moment where you've been doing someone's makeup and hair and you see them come into themselves? Like that aha?
Oh, yeah. I think one of it was, I was at RuPaul's Drag Con, and there was this little 12-year-old that was at the show, and he was watching me do makeup on other people. And I'm going to call it boy drag. I had some makeup on, but I wasn't in full ensemble of drag, right? And he was watching me, and I turned over and I looked at him, and he wanted to get his makeup done. He happened to be a friend of a friend that I wasn't aware of at the moment. And she comes over and says, "Oh, this is my nephew. He would love to do his makeup." And then I find out later that his parents are not supportive of his creativity.
Yeah.
You know, he's 12. I don't think a lot of 12-year-olds really know what direction they're going to go in, but they're going to want to explore a lot of different things. And to not have that support from your parents can be challenging, you know? And so when he sat in my chair and I asked him, "How would you like to do your makeup?" And he says, "I want it to be big and bold." So he knew he wanted it big and bold. I put his makeup on. I wish I had a picture to share with you, because he got so emotional at 12 years old and just was so excited that somebody was in that space with him. And we were trusting each other to create this for him. And I think that was one of the moments that I just thought, wow, these are the youngsters that I was at that one point that didn't have those people, you know, either supporting or creating that space for me. And it was just a really, really special moment to be able to do that for somebody so young.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to think, if your parents aren't for something and you want something so bad, just the ability to try it.
Correct.
It's not going to kill anybody. It's not going to hurt anybody.
It's makeup.
But the fact that they did it and they actually felt something is important. I mean, I think having the ability, especially at that age. I mean, at that age, I was on the streets the next year.
Right.
So I remember that age vividly. And guess what? I knew who I was. I knew who I was attracted to. I knew that at 12.
Right.
A lot of kids nowadays know it earlier who they are, and us denying who they are is not a good thing.
Correct.
I mean, as a parent, now with my boys, I parent them each differently because they're each different individuals. And they like the bright pink streak in their hair.
Right.
And they like the fashion. And that's something, even though I'm not very fashion forward, I like to support that in them because that's amazing.
Right.
If they never have obstacles of, oh, I'm going to doubt myself, they're going to be better and more confident people. Right?
Yep.
So having someone like you in the community for these kids is super important.
Yeah.
Because they can see you thriving in yourself, as opposed to like when you were younger, you see people struggling.
Yeah. It's very, very true.
So how did you get into the makeup world?
You know, again, going back to that time that I was going to arenas for the very first time, and I just saw this beautiful array of people in makeup. I was very attracted to at the time, but of course, you know, mentioning the times that we were in.
Yeah.
You know, guys didn't do makeup. It was a girl thing. And I was probably maybe 18 or 19, again, sneaking out of the house right before I left home. Maybe it was even 17. I went out in drag. Someone complimented me. And about 2 years later, I got into drag for the first time on stage somewhere. It was it was a very successful show. And that particular show prompted my journey as a Janet Jackson impersonator here in Southern California. And my best friend's sister saw a picture of me and she said, I want him to do my makeup for my wedding. And I said, oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Well, there's a difference between
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And, you know, and she said, no, you're gorgeous. I want you to do it. And I confidently said, okay, sure, let's do a trial. I had no makeup kit, went to Michael's, bought some paintbrushes, figured out how to put a makeup kit together, did her trial, did her wedding. At her wedding, I had 2 of her bridesmaids book me for their wedding. And I thought, oh, I think I'm really good at this. And so I went from, you know, playing with the idea and getting into drag a little bit more in, you know, the mid to late 90s to, you know, starting my career as a makeup artist. And
it all started with the one night in drag?
It started with a one night in drag, and someone said, I think you're really beautiful and I would love for you to do my makeup one day. I mean, I had the idea of wanting to do that. I always was attracted to makeup artistry. I think makeup is a beautiful, beautiful way of expressing yourself. And I think, you know, again, going back to my time at that club, to see so many men, you know, older men, young men, club kids, punk, everybody just really just expressing themselves with a form of makeup. I was very attracted to that, but was too nervous to kind of play with the waters of actually making it a career.
Yeah, it took someone like making you take that leap.
Right. And someone just saying, no, I don't care what you say, you're doing it.
Yeah.
And she knew me maybe 2 years. She didn't know. She didn't ask for a portfolio. She didn't ask for how long I've been doing this. It was way before social media.
How much of that do you think was personal, though? Like, I want Vinny there.
You know, I maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah.
But when she saw my picture and my best friend said, hey, my sister saw you in makeup and she says she wants you to do her makeup for her wedding, I laughed. I laughed.
So that was just like hobby at that point, though, right? You were doing
100%.
a wedding here, a wedding there.
Exactly.
What were you doing for work?
I was a millwork specialist at Home Depot.
Really?
Yeah, so working with doors, windows, installations, Monday through Friday, and doing, getting my feet wet in the drag world on the weekends. That's kind of what I was doing.
Well, I can see the customer service in you.
Yeah.
I can totally see that. Oh yeah, we'll get the store hooked up for you real quick. yeah, let me get over here. Hey, that's a balanced store for you.
Yeah, what you want, what you need.
What do you need? What do you
Exactly.
need? Yeah.
Very much
So,
there.
what started the professional hair and makeup?
I was...
Like, when did you take the leap because you're like, I'm really good at this?
27. I was doing it as a hobby, and 27 was around the corner, and I was just about to hit my 10 years at Home Depot, and I went to an interview to be promoted, and they said that I did not fit the requirements of what they were looking for, or the experience, if you would. And
was that? Do you think that was truthful?
no, I don't think it was. I really don't think it was, because my numbers proved different. My customer service proved different. My sales proved different. All the other things.
Were you coming into yourself?
And I was also coming into myself. So at that moment when they said no to the position is when I just said, I'm going to put in my 2 weeks.
Okay.
And while I was at Home Depot, I went to cosmetology school, so I already had that on the back burner, ready to go, but still needed a push. We always need these pushes in life.
Well, yeah, even bad things, right?
Yeah.
Like bad things like that gave you the push to be in the right direction.
Correct. And I put in my 2 weeks and found a salon, and they needed a makeup artist, and I said yes. Again, saying yes to the things without even having the experience of it, and it just started to grow from there.
So it was makeup first?
No, I went in as an assistant.
Okay.
For hair, as a hairstylist.
Okay.
And they didn't have any makeup artists there, so anytime they had a makeup client, they would give them to me. So they were kind of like merging together. And still playing around with drag for a little while, and then shortly after that, dove into corporate again with MAC Cosmetics. and still building my clientele along the way.
Was that a comfort for you to get back into corporate?
It was. It was. You know, Mac Cosmetics trainers had a very big reputation of traveling, being very involved in Fashion Week, doing, you know, creating looks and doing so many wonderful things in the makeup industry. And I was just so attracted to that.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, you have to start at the bottom and work your way to that position. And yeah, did that for about 13 years and then had that other move of time to move again.
And what was that move? To go on your own?
To go on my own. Yeah. To go on my own.
Stop making the millions for others, start making it for yourself?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
How scary was that?
It was scary because, you know, you let everything go. You let your 401k go. You let your insurance go. You let the structure go.
Yeah, especially going from corporate.
From corporate, and you have to rebuild it. And you have to learn what direction being in that is for you. Because it's different for every individual, either entrepreneur or business owner, right? So,
but that entrepreneurial jump is really scary.
Oh my God, it's so scary.
I remember I was making a lot of money in corporate sales.
Yeah.
And then I went to like making less than $30,000 my first year as a photographer.
Oh yeah, easy.
So how was your support network during that?
It wasn't. I think I had great support because the flexibility of clients I picked up along the way. That support system was great, and I think the biggest support system came from other artists that I met along the way that knew what I was doing, and they invited me to lean in and lean on them, and you know, let's help you navigate all of that stuff. And that was one of the things that I really find is very special. You know, when you meet people along the way, stay in touch with them, and find your tribe, you know, and find your people that will assist you through the good and the bad and the ugly, you know, because that support you. Because sometimes that's not going to happen with, you know, people at home, and that doesn't always happen with family because they think you're crazy. What are you doing, you know?
So then your hobby became a career.
And
you started working, getting the clients.
Re-inviting back those clients that have stuck with me on and off for the last 20 years. And picked up more clients working in corporate. And then right around the time I left corporate, COVID hit. So that was a double whammy. And then...
or perfect timing.
You know, I feel like it was not the best timing, but also the best timing.
Yeah.
Because you were only left with time on your hands to kind of figure it out.
It kind of brings me back to why I named my company Fate. We don't choose anything; it just happens.
Yeah.
Right. We make micro decisions that can, affect the day to day. But I think we're destined to be who we are.
Yep.
And so through COVID, you survived. We survived.
We survived.
In all of this, when did the drag start to really take hold?
During COVID. Yep. During that time, at the previous house that I had, I just buckled down, worked on some home projects, started cleaning out life, storage, drag, all the things. And I had boxes and boxes of drag that has just been traveling with me through the years that just wasn't being put to use. And I pulled out one of my Janet wigs the same week that I got a phone call about a show that was coming back after a 10-year blackout.
Oh, wow.
And they said, hey, the producer's looking for you. And I just had this moment where I thought, shit, if you let me do it. And it was that moment. I just thought, look, I still have the energy. I still have the love for it. I still have the drive. And it was one of the things that I don't think I had put a lot of as much energy in it back in the days because it was hobby, right?
Yeah, but was it a hobby because of fear? Like, were you holding yourself back about
100% that. It was a hobby because of fear.
Like, was the fear I won't be successful at this, or people will judge me at this? What was the fear?
I think it was a combination of all of that. When I had some family members first see me in drag, it didn't go over very well.
Oh,
and
tell me about that.
Yeah, so it was just, it goes into, oh, you want to be a woman, you want to be a girl. It wasn't about the art of performing. It was more about me transitioning, and we struggled and we argued and we fought and we had some ugly confrontations. And one of my shows that I did, somebody cut up my costumes, and it was just traumatic. And I thought, is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this what this drag thing's about? So it was very easy for me to let it go when I did.
And they were family members going against you in this situation, friends?
I'll never know, because I opened up my bag and that's what I saw happen. But there was also the arguments and just the confrontations that were happening with different people. Mind you, I had some very, very successful things happening with me in drag, but there was a lot of speed bumps and a lot of rocky roads that I was up against. So it made it a little easy for me just to say, we don't want to do this right now. Let's go into this other creative direction, which was working as a hair and makeup artist and working that part out.
But that's so hard because it kind of pushed you out of something you were really enjoying and
very much so.
And loving.
Very much so.
No, I mean, I think a lot of that comes with a confusion about drag and trans. I think it's about not understanding what they're talking about.
Right.
Just because you do drag doesn't mean you're trans.
Correct.
And just because you're trans doesn't mean you want to do drag.
Correct.
And there's an evolution in there as well.
Right.
So, did you try to educate the people around you? Or was it more so bad that you had to shut it down?
I think I became more of an educator when I got back into it in my 40s. I don't think it was something I was trying to protect myself and defend myself more back then. Or I was really easy just to throw in the towel and be like, I don't want to put that energy into it. I'm going to focus on something else. So the education side of it became when I was more comfortable with getting back into it and doing it more as a career. Because now there was such a huge merge of trans being entertainers, drag that I knew becoming trans, so there was so much I'm gonna call it intermingling of lifestyles that you now understand it as it's still entertainment. And
I think a lot of times people always try to find the less painful route.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And so someone who may be trans, which we know a couple people who are trans that dipped their toes in drag to see what it felt like and to see how comfortable they were.
Right.
And then when they found, wow, this really truly feels like me, then they went that direction. But then there are other drag performers that are like, no, this is just who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's that evolution, and to have people that have been through it. Do you have that one person that has, like, drag performer that kind of helped you along your way?
There's a handful of them. You asked me earlier about coming back into drag, and I think one of the things is I know a lot of entertainers, Jules Long Beach, Morgan McMichaels, Delta Work, Raja Mayhem, some girls from RuPaul's Drag Race that I've known since the very beginning of stages. And, I've always admired their drive in the arts of drag. And it didn't matter when I saw them, how often I saw them, or how often I didn't see them through the years of me not doing drag. Every time I did have an encounter with them, it was always about, bitch, you're amazing. When you coming back? So there was always a welcome mat with some people that I met through the industry that saw something in me probably a little bit bigger than I knew it to be. So
see, that's amazing, because you don't get that in other fields. I guarantee you didn't get that at Home Depot. like bitch, you cut that door perfect.
No, you did not. You did not. Although there was a good support system when I did come out. I remember one of my managers at Home Depot. He coordinated the very first drag show that Home Depot ever had.
Really?
And I did it.
Wow.
And I was so nervous, so unsure. There was a lot of homophobia there. But let me tell you, when this show came to life, the entire 220 whatever employees that were there came to the show. And then when I started playing around, performing at different venues, they would all come. So it was like a coming out, I think, for a lot of us.
Yeah.
You know. And
Well, they probably the fact that they knew who you were.
correct.
And man, that's one of my best guys at work. I love this guy.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, they get to experience you being truly in your element.
Correct.
Like, what a fun thing. I mean, you couldn't help but support someone in that situation personally.
Right. So, you know, as much as there was many struggles and challenges, there was also some wonderful moments of support throughout the years. You know, one of the things that I move forward into life now is, you know, we put so much time and energy in wanting certain people to support us.
Yeah.
You know, so much time. And usually those certain people is probably maybe 5 people, you know, in your right hand that might be blood related, right?
Yeah.
But there's 500 in your left hand that you picked up along the way that are just unconditional. So I always just try to encourage anybody that I speak to, especially the younger generation that I speak to nowadays. It's like, don't forget to focus on that energy.
Yeah.
Because there is still, with all the rockiness and all the bullshit that we experience in this world, there's still amazing support experiences that you're going to have that you want to hang on to.
So when it comes to your performance, like, you show up full Vinny.
Oh yeah.
Right?
This is it.
What's your process to go from Vinny to Envi? Like, is it instant?
No.
Is it an evolution of the day? Like, when does Envi come? Is it when you put on the wig? Because I know your wigs change, so it can't be that.
Right.
Is it the face, or is it like the outfit? What is that transformation like for you?
For me, it's when that last piece of the puzzle is put together, whether it's either the heels or the earring or the wig. It's always going to be one of those three is going to be the last thing that goes on. And when that piece goes on, you look in the mirror and there she is.
Okay, so you find her.
You find her.
You find her.
Yeah.
Because I know me as the guy in the big red suit.
Yeah.
It's not till I do the voice.
Yeah.
Once the voice happens, then all of a sudden he's here, and then I disappear for however long it is, and then I come back.
Right.
As Michael at the end of the day.
Right.
But for you, it's when everything happens. Is it that last look in the mirror?
It's that last look in the mirror. Because you can walk in backstage as you see me now with all your gear, you know, and your crew's like, "Hey Envi, what's up? Hey Envi, what's up?" And you're like, "Hey," you know, and you're
saying, "Hey," as Vinny.
What's that?
You're saying hi.
I'm saying, "Hey," as Vinny.
Yeah.
They all know me as Envi, so you're saying hello, you know, and then you go and do the shaving, and you start like it's almost like layers of you start to peel away that blossom of Envi that's about to just explode in the middle, you know. And
so you can't turn to Envi at a press of a break.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a little. Wait a minute. For those of you just listening, I want you to go to the YouTube. I want you to go to the Instagram, because I am sitting next to now the lovely, the wonderful Envi.
Here she is.
Hello, Envi. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are fabulous.
You know, just out on a little afternoon drive.
Yes. And you match the car.
Yes. I mean,
beautiful blue dress.
Look.
Beautiful blue eyes.
I would normally say green with Envi, but this blue's doing its job.
Yes, you're definitely blue with Envi.
Yeah.
So
blue with Envi.
So Envi, I'm glad you're here, because there's things I can talk to you about that I can't talk to Vinny about.
Okay.
And I think the first thing is, how do you support other queens in the community in just being you and being available and being present in what you do?
Good question. You know, I think just for me, it's just showing up.
Yeah.
Just literally just showing up. Stay committed to whatever you commit to, stick with it, and show up and be available.
It's like,
just literally just show up and be available. I mean, I've been in and out of drag entertainment since the late 90s, left it for a really long time, so coming back to it, there's so many things have changed, and a lot of people they don't know what I know, or what a lot of the older queens knew or understand what entertainment was or is. So being open to take different people under your wings when necessary, or be available to help and answer questions. One queen recently told me, she called me motherly. I'm not a drag mom by any means, but I'm known from a lot of people in my circle, in and out of drag, as being motherly. So just being able to show up for those that might need you whenever they do.
Because it's important. Like throughout time, there are different people. Was it seasons of friends that come and they're available to you when you need them?
100%.
And being that person is really important. It's a strong thing to be.
Yeah.
So what would you tell a young queen starting out right now about the journey, and about how it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but to stick to it? What would you tell them directly?
I would suggest for anybody interested in tapping into this world of drag entertainment is to have a vision for yourself of what your drag is. Drag has changed so much through the years. When I was introduced to it, it was about being as feminine looking as you possibly can. And the term was called, can you pull fish? Can you be fishy? Can you be a woman? And it was about being as feminine as you possibly could, thin, all the things, the hair, the nails. And as drag progressed, it was more about transforming yourself into some kind of live art.
Yeah.
Right? So, yes, you're seeing the hair and you're seeing the glam today, but, there's a whole other side of my drag that can be very androgyny, that a lot of people have not had an opportunity to see.
And that's some of the more fun stuff, because it's more experimental. And you get to do more, because it's not what people are expecting.
Correct.
I think when things get normalized, and don't get me wrong, there's different views of this, but Drag Race came out.
Oh, for sure.
Made drag available to everybody.
To everyone.
Right?
Yes.
It spread that out.
Correct.
But then it also showed you a certain type of drag.
Right.
And drag has evolved so much.
Correct.
Since even the start of Drag Race, right?
Yes.
There are female queens.
Correct.
There are female being men.
Correct.
There's all these different aspects that you don't necessarily see on Drag Race.
No, not at all.
Yeah. What do you think the most, how do I want to say it? What do people think they know about drag that isn't true? And what is true about drag that people have no clue about?
I'm going to answer that, but I want to go back to what you said about the young queens. Another thing that I want to share with them is be open to critique.
Yes.
That is something that I think is, I met a lot of young queens that just, this is what it is, this is how I am, this is my drag. They could be even offended when you say there's a run in your pantyhose.
Yeah, don't take it personally.
Don't take it personal. Like, if somebody is out there to look out for you, to share, your bra strap's undone, your wig's coming loose, your lashes needs a little whatever, like, be open to that kind of critique, because if you find somebody that's open to doing that, you will learn so many different ways, and that's just being behind scenes.
Well, there's so many people that are willing to straighten your tiara.
Correct.
Right? You don't. Yep. But it's sad, because I think that is because they come from a world that's not so forgiving.
Yeah.
And when you're in a world that's not so forgiving, you think everyone's against you.
Yes.
So even in a place of comfort where you're among like-minded people, you may think these things are attacks, but they're not.
They're not. And look, drag is shady.
Yeah.
Drag is shady. Somebody said recently, I saw on something that passed on my feed of, queens are shady. They can give it, and a lot of them can take it just as much, right?
Yeah.
So it just becomes like a fun banter. But also, with that also being said, is a lot of us show up with our own spotlight. And if you are willing to bring your spotlight together, it doesn't matter what you're working on in your drag entertainment profession, or that stage is just going to shine that much bigger.
Yeah.
You guys are ready to share that spotlight together.
No one ever stole your sparkle.
No one ever steals you. No one steals your sparkle. And if you feel like they did, add more.
Yeah, add more.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's important. That's important. I mean, and then back to that, like, what do you think some of the misconceptions are in drag?
I think one of the biggest misconceptions is every drag queen is not as masculine as they are feminine when they're in drag. So there's like this perception of, and that's my own personal experience, where it's, you put on a dress, you put on the hair, you put on the makeup, and you all of a sudden they want to put you in this box of femininity or being a sissy or whatever. It's just, and look, I'm a big feminist by heart. I am surrounded by many, many women, and I support them in all ways possible. But I think the perception is that I feel is also changing with some masculine men that I've met coming back into drag in the last 5 years, that they're now more open to wanting to explore what a queen identifies as in and out of drag. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you especially, like, knowing Envi,
yes,
and knowing Vinny,
right?
Vinny can kick ass.
Yeah.
Like,
yes,
Vinny can kickbox. Vinny
I'm a martial artist. I did martial arts for 20 years.
Vinny does bike rides that would make you cry.
Yes.
His
life cycle last year, 2025, 585 miles from San Francisco to LA. Yeah. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
What's something else that people would be shocked about learning about drag? And almost to the fact of how normal it is, right? Like, you're all backstage.
Yes.
Just like any backstage would be.
Right.
And you're helping each other get ready.
Correct.
You're listening to music, just like anything, like any other theatrical event.
Correct.
The green room is the green room.
The green room is the green room.
What's something that would surprise people?
I think how well a lot of us do get along. I think there is a perception of, queens have this, they're shady. Yeah. But I think what people would be really, really surprised on how well, now not everybody does.
Yeah.
Not everybody does. There's still some shady shit that does happen and goes down.
Yeah.
But how well a lot of us really get along, and the family unity is truly something that does exist.
But I think they get that from watching Drag Race, right? They are catty.
They are Look, it's a reality TV show.
Yeah.
Right? And if anyone knows reality TV show, it is scripted to a point.
Yeah.
So they will heighten what needs to be heightened. They want the cattiness. They want the shadiness. They want the views. They want the little squabbles and the confrontations.
It makes it worth watching.
It makes it worth watching. Yeah. Because that's where, people are, ooh, bitch this, and ooh, bitch that, and ooh, bitch this, and ooh, bitch that. It's like, it can be fun.
Yeah.
It can definitely be fun, I
mean, that's why I watch.
Right, exactly.
I don't want them all getting along, like, playing Kumbaya with a guitar.
Exactly.
Although that would really mess up the whole series if you started doing that.
Oh, for sure. But there's also something really lovely about that as well.
Yeah, I would just wish they would support each other more.
I agree.
Because I think then queens learn that, I gotta be a catty bitch. And they put that past, and I don't think they'll work as much.
Right. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And some queens, let me tell you, they've left me lost for words because they're so witty and so shady and so catty. I just laugh.
Yeah.
Don't let that influence who you are. If you got some shadiness to bring it.
Yeah.
Because it makes it for fun. It makes it fun,
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to join your catty party. I'm going to be
correct. It's just be yourself, and don't feel like you have to become what you see on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah.
To be a unique, you don't want to be a stamped queen. You want to be a you queen.
Yeah.
You know?
So, give me your best drag experience, Envi. What's the best show you've ever felt? Like, what's your one that you always think back and go, I killed that show? Tell me about that.
Oh wow! I'm gonna have to give you two of them. It was
Okay.
my very first show, at a place called Vanishes with two of my really, really dearest friends, who I met at my first show in a bar. But I was invited to do a theater show in Riverside called Vanishes, and it was one of my favorite shows because you almost feel a sense of, I made it to this stage. It was like 1,500 people, sold out show in Riverside. I was at the beginning stages of my drag, experiences, because it wasn't quite a career then, nor was it a job. It was definitely having fun with it and trying to get used to it.
That's an I have arrived moment.
Yes, it really was. And choreography, and there are things that you dream of doing and you don't know if you're really good at. And then you see the standing ovation at the very end, and you're like, oh, I think I just did something really well. Yeah. And then fast forward, after leaving drag for 10 years, I went back to that same exact stage with so many new queens. And I felt like the new kid on the block, even though I wasn't, just because drag has changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I don't know what, 12, maybe 13 years later, and I was back on that stage with the same dancers from the 90s, and we came back to life, and family and friends and so many people were there to almost welcome me back into doing what I'm doing today.
So that was your conception on that stage, and then it was your rebirth.
It was a rebirth, 100%, yeah. Incredible. So that was one of my amazing moments of it.
So those are amazing moments,
yes.
But not all the moments are like that.
No.
Give me your drag horror story.
At the beginning stages of doing drag, again back in the 90s, there was an experience that I had, and I just finished a competition show. I didn't win the competition, but I got home and all my wigs that I had for that night and all my Janet Jackson impersonating costumes in my garment bag were cut to pieces.
Yeah, same experience we talked about earlier.
Correct. It was cut to pieces, and I just thought, well, maybe this isn't for me.
Now, where was this garment bag?
This garment bag was at my home, but I discovered it when I went home and opened it up to put everything away and wash what I needed to wash, and I realized all my stuff was cut to pieces.
Did you have an idea of who you thought might have?
I couldn't even tell you. But I did call my best friend, one of my really good friends that's still in my life today, told him what happened, and he encouraged me to pull my shit together and take me out. Didn't have the desire to. He showed up at my house anyways, took me out. And that night we were in LA, and I met Janet Jackson out of drag, and she just held my hand and gave me a hug, and she goes, look, life's gonna throw you some shit, just know you're better than that and keep doing what you're doing. And I went home that night to sew my costumes back together and got on stage the next week, and I was like, well, Janet Jackson said that life's gonna give you lemonade, so you gotta fucking squeeze that shit, just keep on going,
Isn't that fate?
Yeah.
Like, that's the universe saying, don't give up on this path, you're on the right path.
Oh, 100%. And you don't realize that at the time.
No.
Because you're learning, you as a drag queen, you as a boy in a dress, getting out of that dress to living your life, still getting back into that persona to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
And you're trying to discover where do you fall? Like, where do you fall, and what kind of identity do you really have through that? So it was pretty awesome that I had that experience, met her 25 years later after coming back into drag. I met her again, and I was like, okay, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's the amazing part. And the thing that always boggles my mind is there's always this pushback, right?
Oh, for sure.
Especially recently about the drag community. When drag has been around forever. Shakespeare.
Forever.
It was written in the notes.
Correct.
Dressed as a girl.
Absolutely.
So, because women weren't allowed to perform.
Right. And it was always perceived as an art form.
Yes.
Yes.
And in other cultures, it's perceived as an art form.
Correct.
it's funny to me that the pushback comes back every once in a while.
Right.
Because a couple of years, I mean, how long has Drag Race been on?
They're on season 19, so
Coming up to season 20.
yeah.
So 20 years ago, people are like, okay, this is entertainment.
Correct.
And yet now, people are up in arms.
Yeah. Yes.
It boggles my mind sometimes to think about how people can close off their brain.
Well, they don't want to, I think my experience, and my experiences with people that have been, I'll say family, or people that I've had the hardest time getting to accept what I do.
Mm-hmm.
It usually is always followed with, well, I just don't understand. And I think that is always the pushback, because someone doesn't understand anything beyond what they know.
Yeah.
And it becomes their problem. And you have to ask the question,
yeah.
Well, do you want to understand it? Do you care to understand it?
That's exactly it.
Yeah. And some people just don't have the capacity to want to understand outside what they are comfortable with.
Yeah, do you want to understand?
That you want to understand. Because let me tell you, it's a fun thing to understand.
Yeah.
It really, truly is a fun thing to understand if you want to.
Well, and this is what's funny about it, is it's a fear. And some of the most masculine acting
Correct.
people
Right.
have the biggest fear.
Yes.
I know this for 100%.
Yep.
Because when I went and saw you when I was in Palm Springs,
Right.
I was at the Santa convention, and I brought one guy.
Yeah.
So I was the only one with the courage enough to come, and
Correct.
he was so excited about it.
Right.
And we had the time of our lives.
Yeah.
No other person there had that fun that night.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you just get out of your own way,
Yep.
and you get rid of all those preconceived notions you have,
Right.
and go and enjoy it, you're going to enjoy it. My father-in-law, we went to Puerto Vallarta,
Yes.
and my father-in-law was like, hey, let's go see a drag show.
Yes. See?
And we saw one of the most amazing drag performers ever.
Yes.
I swear I was at a Beyonce concert.
Oh, the one you shared pictures with?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Phenomenal
amazing. Yeah.
performer. There are people that are naysayers and all that. What keeps you thriving? What drives you to keep your performance growing and getting better and better?
Two things. When I got back into drag about 5 years ago, right after COVID, I was struggling with the age thing. Like, what direction do I go in with this?
Mm-hmm.
And I had one person tell me, she pulled me aside after the show was over, and she says, look, I've seen you years ago. It's great to see you back. But thank you for showing up and giving me your love and your energy, because she was going through some life changes. Mm-hmm. And she came up to me very emotional, and she just said, I wasn't going to come tonight, but you really made me feel alive, so thank you.
Wow.
So, she lost her mom to cancer, and she started sharing a little bit of her story. And those are the moments that just keep me excited about being able to entertain. Mm-hmm. And the other side of that is, it's also, coming back into drag, I've really been able to fish these creative ideas out of my own mind.
Yeah.
And just have fun with it. And be more vulnerable to trying things I've never tried before, and vulnerable to the idea of possibly making a mistake along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that has kept me going, coming into this new decade of being a 50-year-old drag queen, so it's been, because there's still so much to do, there's still so much to give, there's still so much to create.
By the way, go to the YouTube. There's no way this bitch is 50. Just saying. Go check her out. It's crazy.
I mean,
You take good care of your skin.
It's my skincare.
It's a skincare routine.
It's an occasional tequila on the weekends.
Well, I think it's true. It's like, I think people who age, and this is not to be mean to anyone in those flyover states or anything, but there are 30-year-old people in the Midwest that look 90.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's skincare. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's living in a state that's not happy and
Correct.
not their own.
Yeah.
And I don't want to just say it's flyover states. It's here too. If you're not living in your true self and who you are, I think it ages you dramatically.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's why we have people just like 30 years old looking 1,000.
Yeah. And learning who you're, and just, I think being open to understanding with yourself that we constantly are changing.
Yeah.
And who you were at 90 in the 90s to the 2000s to 2010 to 2020s, it's going to be a little bit different, but just, feel comfortable enough to explore that.
Yeah.
Be comfortable enough to, laugh about it, cry about it, because it's, we're on this earth one time and no one's going to do it for you but you. So,
yeah. So live in your truth.
Live in your truth. And, sometimes you might not, you living in your truth is, you're not always going to have your favorite people, picking up the pom-poms for you.
Yeah.
And that's really is okay.
Sometimes you have to be that person.
You have to be that person.
Yeah.
Pick up that pom-poms, pick up that wig, pick up whatever you want to pick up, and have some fun with it.
So we have some listeners all the way in like Alabama. We have listeners in Arkansas.
Okay.
What would you tell a person in that state that maybe has a feeling that they want to try this? They want to dip their toes into drag. How would they get started?
Find your mother's highest heels. Start there. No, just
Don't
kidding.
break an ankle.
Don't break an ankle. Do not break an ankle. I would say, and I know I don't want to just say just do it, but just do it.
Yeah.
Find the community of people around you,
because they're there.
That are there. Yes, that will. Social media has been. It has changed so many different elements on how we connect with folks, and I guarantee you, if you start looking around for people within your community that.
Well, I think that's in every community.
Correct.
Like, find your people.
Find your people. Find your tribe. I say it over and over again, and don't feel that the tribe that you find is going to be your forever tribe.
Yeah.
Because it's really amazing to know that we met 15 years ago, and then we lived in the same neighborhood, but then we reconnected and started working together.
Yeah.
In the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. So. And let me tell you, it's
even though I tried to work with you so many times.
Right, but it's very, very, very true.
So many times.
Very, very true.
Me up.
I mean,
too important, too popular.
She was a busy girl.
She's busy, doing her thing.
She was a busy girl,
We call periodically.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah,
no.
There was a social here and there.
Yeah,
There definitely was a social here and there.
Too busy being a butterfly, doing your thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in your community, in our greater community, I always like to do this towards the end of shows. What's next for you?
Right now I'm dual city living right now, if you would, because
which is wrong.
We've talked about it. We should just be. Went from Long Beach to Palm Springs, and there were so many wonderful creative things happening right now in Palm Springs. I have some things in the works right now. I'm working on a couple different productions in Palm Springs. I am one of the hosts for Saguaro Drag Brunch, and it's a fantastic brunch. If you don't know it,
you're in residency there?
I'm a resident. Yeah, I'm a resident host there and entertainer there. And I'm working on some new projects with yet to be announced.
Oh.
But some new projects in Palm Springs as well. And I think I would like to dip my toes into some bigger things when it comes to design.
Okay.
Costume design.
Yeah.
It's always been something I ran away from. I'm not a designer. I'm afraid of the sewing machine. I love it, but I'm afraid of it.
Yeah.
So start working on some of my own projects, but I like to just keep my options open. I'm really, really happy to be able to be partnering up with so many people in Long Beach right now and in Palm Springs. Giving back to the community is always something that I really, really enjoy. So I really have made it a point to go into this new decade of my life to be able to do that.
How do you give back to the community?
Right now I'm partnered up with Janelle from Lofty Dreams, and we are doing some things here with the center, the Gay and Lesbian Center. That's going to be coming up in July. And we do our drag book readings. And now in Palm Springs I'm also working with a couple different other Queens to do stuff at the senior citizens homes.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
I think the senior citizens are forgotten about.
Look,
everyone does stuff for kids.
Correct.
Stuff, but
So-
I think that's an important market.
and just get out there and just show face.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, especially in Palm Springs, a lot of the people that are living in the citizen homes came from our gay community.
Yeah.
And they want to feel like I know for a fact they definitely want to come to life in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and they want to feel supported.
They want to feel supported. They want to feel worthy.
I think that's important.
So that's kind of that was a lot in a nutshell, but that's
I love that. So staying in who you are, staying in your perspectives, keeping everything positive. Give me 3 businesses you'd like to shout out and support, and that can be in Palm Springs or it can be here in Long Beach. What are some good businesses that you feel are worth the drive?
Well, being a part of Fate Studios is I'm always you're always going to be one of my shout outs. I talk about Fate Studios, I talk about you, I talk about the collaborative and the unity and the diversity that you bring together in this community, and that's why it's somewhere I'm always going to keep coming back to. So I have to shout you out for that. One of the things that I've always held dear to my heart is being able to have collaborations with what I would say people would call a typical straight man looking, right? Who is one of the most diverse, most supporting people I've ever met. So I have to shout you out for that. So
with great beard comes great responsibility.
Let me tell you, with great beard comes with great responsibility. You're just fantastic. And I tell people in Palm Springs all the time, I'm trying to get my girls out here so we can do a shoot with you here in Long Beach.
Well, I have to say that is one of my favorite things is people look at me and they think one thing.
Correct.
And that does work in my favor sometimes, but it also does get me in fist fights other times.
Right.
Because something to be said about the cis white male community and their nudge, know what I mean.
Right.
When you're amongst people who look like you, they will tell you.
Yeah.
And then I have to correct them very quickly.
Very quickly.
And I'd like to say that should be every man's goal.
Right.
Is to put a homophobe, to put a bigot, a racist in their place.
Yes.
And I am lucky enough to be born 6'1", 250 pounds. And I can totally do that.
We make a good match, don't we?
Yes. So that's one, Fate Studios. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yes, and everything that comes with it. So if you don't know Fate Studios, look it up. There's amazing businesses within Fate Studios. So yes, we're great community together. Number 2, I'd have to shout out Saguaro Drag Run from Palm Springs.
Yeah.
They are somebody that saw something in me, and I was going through a lot of life changes at the time, and I went out there, was a guest spot, and now I am very much involved with them. I'm part of the Saguaro Drag Run's family, and
it's huge.
It's huge. We have shows there every single Saturday and Sunday. We have drag bingo on Fridays, and we have just started to network and just go down different avenues just to involve more of the community. And
so if you're in Palm Springs, stop by. Meet Envi.
You get to meet Envi. You can meet the entire cast. They're just a wonderful, wonderful cast of entertainers, and we have rotating cast members come in on a regular basis, so you get an opportunity to see entertainers from all over the world. Honestly, all over the U.S., but there's a couple that come in from.
You can even see some people from RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag Race this upcoming weekend. Mayhem Miller's going to be there.
Yeah.
And Jasmine Masters as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. And number 3?
Number 3. Oh my goodness. Who would it be? I don't know if it would be a business per se, like a brick and mortar, but I do want to give a shout out to Jules of Long Beach.
Yes, I love Jules.
She is somebody I was mentioning earlier, and she is someone I met when I first started doing drag, has become a huge success. I admire everything she does for the community of Long Beach.
A pillar in the community here, in the business community, in the LGBTQIA community. Amazing human being.
And you know what? She is literally, when I first moved to Long Beach, I would go to her shows and I would run around town, get acclimated with living here, not just coming here for a visit.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I saw her, she was always open arms, always a big hug.
Yep.
And she was one of the people that would always tell me, you need to come back to drag.
Yeah.
You need to come back to drag. And
I
just admire that. So.
I have to say this. When I see Jules out of drag, I now understand how people, when they randomly see someone in drag.
Right.
Because I was like, wait, is that Jules?
Right.
Is that Jules right
He
there?
said, who's that girl?
Exactly. Because, it's funny. That's how that works out. So, great businesses, and I think they have a common goal. They're all supportive of our community, and
100%.
I think that's important. We have to support businesses and people that support the things we need supported.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
I will not support a business that is anti anything. I haven't shopped at Target in 3 years now because of their, I'm supportive, I'm not supportive.
Right.
It's like you're with us or you're against us.
Correct.
And don't just become an ally and an advocate during 1 month of the year. We see that.
Correct.
We see you changing immediately. Be supportive throughout. People are humans. Treat them like humans. Be a good person.
Be a good person. And look, and always this. I am this with every single show that I do. Be kind to yourself and be kind to those around you.
Yes.
You don't have to be an asshole. You know, some people, I see it over and over again. It's like the more ignorant we can be, the more likes we're going to have. That just, let that go.
Yeah, it takes energy being an asshole.
It really does.
Stop taking all
Try
that
shifting
energy.
that energy and being kind to yourself and kind to those around you.
Yes.
And see how much better you feel.
Guess what? I guarantee you'll love it not being an asshole. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for being on Envi, and make sure to tell Vinny I hate you. I love you. And thanks for joining us. Thank you for opening up the eyes. And I think a lot of people maybe, that haven't experienced an incredible human like yourself will get a lot out of this. And that's my goal with these, is to help the community expand in 100%. A way that maybe they wouldn't know. Because you got a 6'1", 250-pound bearded white guy talking about things that maybe you're not used to that person talking about.
Right.
And it'll expand.
And then you have a 5'3.5", 34, 24, 36.
5'3", 5'3.5". Wait, because Envi, she wouldn't lie about her height, but Vinny would.
Yes, he would totally.
Vinny would say he's 5'5".
My license says I'm 5'5".
You lied, bitch.
And it was a misprint that I never corrected.
Yeah, that's true.
That I never corrected.
It's not humanly possible.
Let me tell you, she stands tall. Okay, that's what it is.
How tall is Envi in the heels?
Oh shit! Well, still the shortest one. I'm the shortest one that wears the highest heels. That is still the shortest one next to all the girls. So I'm gonna say maybe I could pull 5'10".
5'10". I like it.
She's still on a good day. She's still petite. She's tiny. She stands tall though.
Love
she
it.
definitely does.
Well, thanks for being on.
I appreciate it. This is amazing.
So good.